Hello, my fellow divine feminines. So, I am not at home and was called to do a divine feminine reading, and I'll probably do a divine masculine after this because I feel the energy. And so, I've made my playing cards into a set of cards, and I'm just going to see what wants to come out. So, this is for anyone who resonates as a divine feminine, whether that be twin flame or not. If you're called to the title or feel like you resonate with the energy of divine feminine, then this energy might be for you. As I say that, I literally cut to the Empress energy, divine feminine. I also cut to the Seven of Hearts, and that was kind of the energy I was feeling. It was like a lot of people are maybe in that aspect of like your imagination is growing, like your third eye is growing, your intuition is growing as a divine feminine, right? But you're like being called in so many different directions with all these new feelings, new choices, new opportunities that might be coming in for you, etc. Yeah. Kind of, but I don't want to say too much. I want to see what cards all come out and take a good look here. I don't have any artwork really to go off, so I'm just going to be playing the energy of each of the cards. The divine feminines. Oh, there's the purple. Divine feminines. There's judgment. That's another energy I was feeling pretty strong. Ooh. I'm feeling a few more for the divine feminines. Lots of major arcana. No wonder I had to spend the time making the major arcana, because that's what needed to come out. Alright, that's a lot. Is there one more? Divine feminines, is there one more for today's message? Shadow energy, though, is the Three of Swords, so some of you are doing some deeper healing. Maybe that's contributing to all of this. Alright, so let's just dive in. So, the Fool, of course, being the energy of being willing to take a risk, possibly, a new beginning, feeling like you're at the start of something. Ace of Wands here, or Strength, is also a card of being, like, the card's energy like pushes you towards making like bold action into stuff that makes you passionate, or that you're like courageous about. I guess it's courageous energy. So both like this taking a risk, this also speaks to strength, courage, overcoming desire, as well as building trust. And then Judgment, with being also the Ten of Swords in this, is an energy of, well, of course, seeing synchronicity, so of course you're being guided, but it's also a card of a time for assessment, right? A time to really kind of assess the synchronicities, the signs, the signals that are coming down for you. Judgment is also a sign of, signals from the divine on your path right now. It's also a card of waking up and taking responsibility for our own role, possibly in the journey you're on, or whatever past mistakes possibly that you're carrying with you, as we do have the Devil as the next card. This is also the Five of Wands energy in this one. So the Devil, of course, speaking to temptation, attachment, control, but it also speaks to an imbalance and need for change in some regard. Can speak to addictions as well. The next card out we caught was Justice, which is also the Eight of Swords energy. This speaks to reason and fairness and needing to distinguish between thoughts and feelings. So, like, again, I'm feeling a decision-making energy for some of you. That won't be for everybody, but so you're being called to really be really bold, but at the same time, you really do need to take a very logical assessment of what's going on and distinguish between your feelings as well as your thoughts. Follow your heart, but don't be a fool. Use what you've learned. This Queen of Swords energy, she's strategic. So you could also be an air sign. Doesn't have to be. There's other signs out on the board, but Queen of Swords is very intelligent, very ambitious. Can really acknowledge, the dark realities of the world around her, and then, use that to embody this strength, this straightforwardness, this boldness, this bravery. So you're being called to be very brave, because you're definitely going through lots of transformation. Here's the death, and it speaks to cycle, creation, destruction, and renewal. So obviously there's been a lot going on. You are in the midst of starting something new for yourself, whether that just be your whole outlook on life, as these major arcanas all do speak to major life lesson cards, but it's definitely a time to gather strength, like very strong time to gather the strength. Look through all the stuff from the past, use those lessons. Don't allow the things that happened in the past to make you illogical, or let your emotions be strayed negatively. You're really being called to really assess exactly what information and guidance you've been given, are receiving, etc., things that you've learned, putting that all into action. Change is coming, so right now you're in the assessment phase. This is, yes, called for action, and this speaks to the beginning of something, but at the same time, you're supposed to just make sure that you're not being too risky. This did come out in the reverse in the beginning, but I don't feel that energy super strong for most of you. Nine of Hearts, of course, is speaking to like a sense of not selfishness, because that is the energy, some energy of the Nine of Hearts, or excess, but it's also being able to see that as necessary and utilizing that as the energy of abundance, which it also is. Nine of Hearts, is a very abundant energy. It speaks that there's more than enough love, to go around, to share. So use the things that you've learned, that love that you hold, all of these lessons that you've been on your journey, the help of spirit and your guides, or whatever you may resonate with. If you don't already, that's why the Judgment card's here. Call on that judgment to maybe help you make this assessment, make these changes, let go of whatever it is that's stopping you here with this Devil card. Whatever materialistic attachments that might be, these two being side by side both speak to greed, materialism, being stuck in ego, as well in the negative aspects, but just seeing them like this is kind of a side note for some people. And then the last card to spit out was the Chariot, which is also the Seven of Swords here. So the Chariot itself is energy of triumph. It's the energy of a breakthrough, which I am feeling like there's a lot of breakthrough, right? Transformation energy here as well. So that is confirmation on that. But it's also coming up with an inventive solution. So in the typical artwork of a lot of tarot cards for the Chariot, it does depict two opposing instincts being harnessed by one force, one energy, by pure willpower and strength. And yeah, it's a very powerful energy. So again, it's utilizing everything that you've gathered on your path to be successful. It's a very successful energy. It is a very triumphant energy, I guess is the best word I can come up with right now. But at the same time, there is a negative aspect on this card about being careful not to be too I guess that's why all the assessments needed. Not be too cutthroat, too 3D aspected in your path to winning. Don't be selling your integrity short, or not being true to your true divine essence in order to succeed. It's not necessary. You need to just utilize all that is actually within you, all of the strength, all of the divinity, all of the logic, the intelligence, the ambition, your sense of perspective, pardon me, to get the outcome that you seek, which, you know, ultimately is obviously your own happiness, success, whatever that means to you, abundance, which is on your path here. It's very, very strong. I don't know who needed to hear what parts of these messages, but this is a really potent energy. This is pretty much exactly what I was kind of feeling with all these major arcanas, really just speaking to you really going through a deep transformation, but you are going to be coming out successful. Just really heed the things that I might have said throughout, you know, utilizing certain things that might even be called as negative aspects to certain people, like selfishness for one. As divine feminines, we typically, our personalities were that of givers, nurturers, carers, and that is why a lot of us, you know, put other people before ourselves, people pleasing, etc. So lots of us are on that path of self-love, self-discovery, self-acceptance, you know, really understanding that it's not selfish, you know, to take care of self. You have to absolutely take care of yourself in order to be of aid to anybody else. And as a divine feminine, that is our purpose here on earth, is to literally embody these strengths, these really admirable qualities that once we all learn how to get there, you know, can really quite simply change the world. So keep doing your divine feminine thing. I hope this helps whoever's meant to see it. I just saw 11:01, 111 on the clock. I love you all, my fellow divine femmes. Have a great weekend or day. Bye bye.